William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Engagement Party, a novel by Darby Kane, performed by Carlotta Brentan. For all those who learn the hard way that unexpected and terrible things can happen in beautiful places. Sometimes victimhood seemed inevitable, and sometimes it seemed like the best thing that could happen to a girl. Once you were dead, you could be loved forever. Once you were dead, no one asked if you had fought back hard enough, if you hadn't really wanted it after all. Sarah Marshall, The End of Evil, The Believer. Chapter 1. Book Notes. Lost and Found. Emily Hunt disappeared on the Saturday of graduation weekend. No one noticed until Sunday afternoon. A blonde with big brown eyes and a deep, soulful laugh that lit up her face wasn't the type to blend in. The recent college grad dreamed of becoming an investigative reporter, of breaking big stories, getting awards, and doing splashy interviews. Even ignoring her questionable talent, she lacked the patience and drive it would take to survive years of mind-numbing, day-to-day plodding, stockpiles of phone calls and messages, and notoriously unreliable pay. Now, none of that mattered. Local police and college officials rushed to grab microphones at the press conference and blame alcohol for Emily's disappearance. Men decked out in business suits and uniforms shook their heads as they lectured the public about the dangerous mix of binge drinking and too much partying on college campuses. In the span of a few hours, Emily morphed from a young woman with promise to a cautionary tale. The quick pivot to, "This is why we don't allow fraternities and sororities on campus" by the college's president ignored the fact neither institution played a role in her being missing. By not showing up at her parents' planned celebration lunch, Emily had forfeited the presumption of innocence in her own disappearance. "Did you see her dress the other night? She seemed out of control at the party. I tried to warn her, but she wouldn't listen." The whispers carried more than a hint of reprimand, but a simple continuum between a fixed point where Emily made smart choices and one in which she invited tragedy didn't exist, no matter how determined people were to bend and twist her story to make it fit. The rumored explanations for her failure to sleep in her own bed that weekend overlooked the obvious details. Her car hadn't moved from the school parking lot. Her upended purse sat at the bottom of the steps of the campus's Museum of Art. Her abandoned cell phone with the newly cracked screen rested a few feet away. As the hours rolled on, pontificating gave way to panic. Before sunset on Monday night, they formed a search party. The "they" included the official cadre who'd engaged in enraged finger-wagging about Emily's partying, and the supposed friends who barely knew her yet spilled half-truths disguised as secrets in exchange for less than 5 minutes of fame and attention. Within hours, a couple in their 60s who happened to be boating in the area found Emily's body. There she was, 4 miles from campus, partially clothed and tangled in weeds in the New Meadows River. She'd been 22 for 19 days and a college graduate for 1 afternoon. The water cleansed her crisis-manufactured guilt. Her role shifted again, this time from the cause of her own demise to beloved victim, forever enshrined as young and beautiful. Her personality locked in place, waiting for the passage of time to polish and mute every flaw into oblivion. Her death turned out to be a horrible beginning to a winding and tragic tale rather than an ending. Not an accident, not a result of alcohol. A murder. The saddest part?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?